Today we're talking about the behavior decision tree. The behavior decision tree is a tool that we can use to look at behavior and determine what we're going to focus on. Essentially, we have one of two jobs. We're going to motivate the child to do something that they already know how to do, or we're going to break down a skill to teach a child something that they don't already know how to do. So it's really important that we start at the top and take time to clearly define the behavior that we're targeting. So we want to make sure that we have a clear, concise definition to the behavior. When you're at home, some of the behaviors might look like cleanup, homework, morning routine, brushing teeth, bathing, and so on. And for this example, let's take cleanup. It's really important to look at what does the behavior comprise of and what expectations do we have for it. So for cleanup, one person might have the expectation that tiny pieces of the toys are put into a bin. Others might have all the big toys on a shelf. Others might expect that the table be cleaned up and the floor vacuumed, depending on what you're cleaning up. So it's really important that we establish the definition of the behavior and also all the expectations attached with it. It's a longer skill, so there's a lot of behaviors that go into the overarching skill of, in this example, cleaning up. So now we're going to look at the skill level. Can the child do the skill that I'm asking them to do, or can't they? When I ask a child to clean up, can they do it or can't they do it? If they can't do it, then we're going to ask ourselves, do they know the expectations of the behavior? Do they know what I expect of them when I say clean up? And then we want to look at which parts of the skill can or can't they do. Maybe the toys are too heavy to move. Maybe they need the fine motor skills that they don't yet have to be able to pick up. Maybe there's something else that is inhibiting them, or they just don't have the skills yet to clean up, and that's where we can look at and break down the skill and teach them. And then I'm going to look at whether they can do the behavior. So if I ask my child, clean up, it's time for dinner, can they do that behavior? Can they independently clean up to the expectation that I want them to? If they can, then we're going to look at motivation. If I ask my kid, clean up, it's time for dinner, will they clean up? If they will, then everything's great and you don't have to change a thing because they're doing it the way that they should be. If they won't do it, if they can engage in the behavior, you know they can clean up and do all the tasks that are required of them in order to clean up, and they just won't do it. Now we need to look further into the motivational tactics that we want to use and ask ourselves questions of, why won't my kid do it? What can I do to motivate my kid to do this? We will look at motivation further. That's a whole another topic that we're going to dive into, and there's a lot of different motivational tactics that we can use. But it's just really important to take the time to move through this behavior decision tree and look at behavior and be able to determine if we need to focus on the skill set or motivation. Please let us know if you have any questions on the behavior decision tree. Take the time to practice, think of different behaviors, move through the tree, and we will see you for the next video.